On today's episode of Phinside The NFL, did Tyreek Hill call out certain Dolphin players for their lack of effort? We will discuss that. Also, we will break down some coaches' film and look at what went right, what went wrong for Miami in Week 14, and what we should be concerned about heading forward, including we will also talk about a big concern, and that is the run game moving forward. We will break that down. We will talk about Jevon, Holland, and a potential extension, plus a lot more. Do me the favor, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into this.
Loses the football. Touchdown! Got it! You have got to be kidding me. Jalen Waddle has a Dolphin touchdown. And he will score! Field on the near side, that open. Touchdown! The run from Tua Tagovailoa. Touchdown! He's going deep. It's not over the touchdown again.
Beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan. Let's go! What is good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are here for another one. Appreciate all of you coming through. Do me the big favor as you come through, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new on this video powered by BetUS. Please do me that favor. It goes a long way in helping me with the algorithm. The like button, smash it, man. Already over 100 of you in the room, so just hit it right now. All right, while you're already here. So let's get those likes up. So, man, interesting thing today happened. I don't know if you guys saw this, but it looks like Jason Pierre-Paul wants to return, kind of doing to what he did similarly to what ended last season, where he wanted to come back for the end of the season, join a contender, and, see if he could play. Now we're getting into these veterans. Not only do they not want to play in training camp, a la Shaq Barrett, but now they're not even wanting to play half the season, a la Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul. It's like this. Remember, Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul, they played together in Tampa, so I'm sure they've had conversations. The difference is Shaq Barrett didn't retire. Jason Pierre-Paul didn't retire like Shaq Barrett did after he signed a new contract. So Jason Pierre-Paul is free to go wherever he wants to go. I find it interesting because, listen, for a team that is desperately looking for a pass rush, we don't know what Bradley Chubb is going to be if he even comes back. I find that interesting just because of the familiarity. Now, we've already learned through Fangio, and the move, Fangio and Weaver, and the moves for like how Ethan Bonner was treated under Fangio to how he's been treated with Weaver, to the AVG decision. Weaver preferring to go with Shaq Barrett, whereas Fangio was a huge AVG guy. We already know there's differences because there's differences in their scheme. So I can't sit here and tell you that Jason Pierre-Paul is someone that Anthony Weaver would be banging the table for, but he's got familiarity with some of your roster, your coaching staff. Hey, if it's something you can add on a cheap veteran minimum just for the rest of the year, especially with getting Chubb back and not knowing where he's at, you got to ask yourself, is that something that the Miami Dolphins should be interested in? So I do think that's something worth considering just because of the familiarity. Now, I got a story for you. Hey, shout out to Robert Thomason, one of the biggest supporters of this channel. It's his 60th birthday today. You know what, my friend? Yesterday was my mom's 70th birthday. Yeah, it was Mama Reason's birthday yesterday. She had her 70th birthday. We had her a surprise party this weekend. So happy birthday to you, Robert. I appreciate you and everything you do for this channel and everything you do in the chat. You're always showing nothing but love and one of my biggest supporters. So nothing but love for you, Robert, on this, your day of birth, your born day. I hope you have an absolutely blessed day. I hope it's fantastic. You spend it with the family. And I hope you get, even though, hey, you know, I know once you get older, what do you really ask for? But I hope you get everything and have everything you want on this 60th birthday. And on top of that, thanks for sharing some of it with me, bro. I appreciate that. That makes me feel even more blessed to have a fan, to have a supporter like you out here. And he says his mother-in-law had her birthday yesterday. Well, happy birthday to her as well. So shout out to Robert for showing nothing but love and always being one of the nicest people in the chat. So shout out to him. Listen, I got a story for you. Check this out. So yesterday, before Monday Night Football, I was like, you know what? I want to get a bet in for tonight. You know, I'm going to take a team on the money line. I'm going to take a 2-touchdown score. I'm going to take a first and last touchdown score prop. So around 7:15, I log into FanDuel. And I decide, okay, I'm going to take the Bengals on the money line. I'm going to take Jamar Chase for 2 touchdowns. And I originally had Jamar Chase as the last touchdown scorer. As the first touchdown scorer, and CeeDee Lamb as the last touchdown scorer. And then at the last minute, I changed it because it was $9.50 for Lamb to be the first compared to Jamar Chase at $5.50. So I changed Jamar Chase to be the last touchdown scorer and Lamb to be the first touchdown scorer. So recap. Lamb, the first touchdown scorer, Jamar Chase for 2 touchdowns, Chase to be the last touchdown scorer, and Bengals on the money line is basically what the bet I went to go put in. So I had money in my account. I clicked place bet, and I was with my kids. So I guess I must have logged out of the app. Well, guess what? The bet didn't go through. $10 would have paid out a little over $2,800. And because I didn't sit there and make sure the bet went through after I hit place bet, this is what happened. I logged back in after Lamb scored the first touchdown and then Jamar Chase scored the next touchdown. I logged into the app to check the status of my bet because I wanted to see if they were offering a payout because I hit on the first touchdown score, right? So I go into offer and my bet slip is still open, and now it's only Jamar Chase as 2 touchdown score and Bengals on the money line. Sorry, no. It's gone as Jamar Chase as the last touchdown scorer and Bengals on the money line. Jamar Chase as 2 touchdown score and Lamb as first touchdown scorer is no longer on the bet slip. I'm like, what the hell? And yeah, it never processed my bet. 28. It was like 28.68 or something like that. It would have been, and it never processed the bet. So I'm sitting here, $2,800 short. I made the right bet. Like I literally, and I even, after I noticed it, I made a tweet on X being like that moment when you log into the, after you make, and I explained the bet and realized that it didn't process. And that was only after the Lamb first touchdown and then to start the game. And then Jamar Chase's first touchdown of the game. I'm sitting there and I watch Joe Burrow make that throw and Jamar Chase take that winning touchdown to the house with like under a minute left. I was going to be sick. I was going to be sick last night. I'm like, I cannot believe it. Like people were messaging me on X being like, bro, I don't know how you're going to sleep tonight. I'm like, bro, you know what? This is how I sleep. No, lucky it wasn't one of the bets where I put down $100. Because $100 would have paid out $28,000. If I would have missed out on $28,000, yeah, I would have had a restless and a sleepless night, and I'd be a very unhappy camper right now. $28, that's not going to change your life. You know what I mean? 28,000 can make a change in your life for the short term. So thank God I didn't put down 100. If I put down 100 and I missed on 28,000, I would have. And that's a hard bet. Thinking about that. I called the first touchdown score, the last touchdown score. I called the last touchdown score to have 2 touchdowns, and I called the right team to win the game. The right team, the Bengals over the Cowboys, was the easiest part. So, man, sometimes, listen. I thank growing up. Listen, I thank growing up playing sports for why I have such a short-term memory, Playing quarterback, playing catcher, and also being a hitter, hitting's the hardest thing to do in sports. You're going to strike out, and you got to be able to get that last at bat if it didn't go your way out here. And I played rep baseball. You got to be able to get that out of your mind, right? Like, you got to be able to get that out of your mind. Hockey, I played center and right wing, so I didn't really I wasn't a goalie. I didn't have to worry about, getting the last shot off my mind. But, I really do thank sports for growing up. Most sports will put you in a position where you're going to have to forget the last play. Sooner or later, you're going to come to a crossroads where you're going to have to forget the last play because it didn't go your way. And that's kind of how I took the approach with missing out on 2,800. It happens. At least I know in the back of my mind, hey, you made the right bet. Yeah, you didn't get paid off for it when you should have been paid off for it, but it is what it is. SHIT happens. And, again, like I said, $2,800 ain't going to change my life. $28,000, if I put 100 down, would have changed my life, and I'd be pissed. So, but growing up playing sports at the levels that I did, because I played hockey, baseball, and football at pretty high levels, I can let things go. It's just like when I get in, if I have an argument with someone, it's very rare that I hold grudges. Very, very rare. Just because I'm very for the moment. You know what I mean? I don't let my past affect my future and my way of thinking constantly, because that's like living in a prison cell. I could never be like that. So anyways, enough about that and a little bit of who I am. Oh man. So yeah, I just think it's tough. It is what it is, and I'll be honest with you, the last 2 weeks, I haven't hit anything, and I've been playing 9-leg parlays on every Sunday. The last 2 weeks, 7 of 9. I'm missing, last week 8 of 9, the Patriots, and then this week 7 of 9. So like I'm barely missing $3,000 continuously, but I don't let it like bug me. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Now they add up. I'll tell you that much. Shout out to everyone coming through. Please do me the favor. Like I said, you got to smash that like button. You gotta smash that like button. All right. We've had a hater in the chat over the last couple weeks. All right. And I've noticed. So they've been doing their damnedest to smash that dislike button. It's still not impacting me, but let's get those likes up. Let's put those people to rest, man. Listen, Tua Tagovailoa, man. I had good feedback from all of you guys about whether he was carrying the team right now in the current status he's in. And you just look at Tua right now and where he's at. Tua is the first player in NFL history to have at least 40 pass attempts, multiple touchdown passes, and no picks in 3 consecutive games within a season. You hear that? No player until Tua Tagovailoa has had 3 consecutive games with over 40 pass attempts, multiple touchdown passes, and no interceptions in each game until Tua came around. Telling you, man. The kid is doing it. Wayne D says, what's good reason? We still got life, Brody. I mean, we're on life support. Listen, Tua's standing over that body right now. He's rubbing the paddles, and anytime it looks like, that we're flatlining, he's freaking there. Just wake back up, baby. All right. I think Tua's really, really turned a corner this season, man. And I've talked about this, he looks like he's the one between him and McDaniel that's turning the corner and showing up against good teams in big games and critical moments right now. McDaniel still hasn't figured out Weaver, he's still green as the defensive coordinator. I don't expect him to figure it out right away. It would be nice if he did, but there's other people slacking and lacking behind Tua right now. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. This episode, though, ladies and gentlemen, it is powered by BetUS. Go to betus.com right now. The Week 15 NFL schedule is live, and you can see Houston's opening as 3-point favorites at home against the Miami Dolphins this week. Use promo code YouTube150. That's YouTube150. Get your first 3 deposits matched by 150% up to $2,000. 24/7 customer service. Some of the quickest payouts in the industry. Go use BetUS as your number one sports book and betting app. All right? Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring the channel. So let's start breaking it down. Let's start getting into it. So we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about Tyreek. We are going to talk about the run game. We're going to talk about Jevon, Holland. Just a little update on some ownership stake. And then we're going to watch a little bit of film from week 14 and see what went right, what went wrong, and where we should be concerned heading into next week against the Texans. But let's start off with Tyreek. Tyreek posted this to his Snapchat. It's a picture of him, and it says, "If your words don't match your effort, get out of here." Now, usually I probably wouldn't make a big deal about this, but when you got Jordan Brooks after the Packers game calling out the effort of this team and calling them soft, and specifically talking about the defense and all of those 20-plus missed tackles, now followed up by this, and as much as we saw, listen, this is why I think Tyreek is calling people out, because I watched the film. Some of y'all have watched the All-22. Hell, you didn't really need to watch the All-22. You could have watched the game on Sunday, and you could see there was certain players lacking the required effort. And I'm going to call them out. 110%. Top of the list is Jevon, Holland. We're going to look at the play when we go in the All-22 of Jevon Holland going into business for himself. Jordan Poyer. On that Davis touchdown, the effort from Poyer and Holland is downright pathetic. Downright pathetic. And, 20 missed tackles. Yeah, you could tell people were going into business for themselves, even against Green Bay. If you're out here in the cold and you don't want to tackle, you don't want to be here, and that game could get us to 500, yeah, you're going into business for yourself, and we got a real problem. Listen, every defensive player I played with, I've been friends with, that I've heard talk in the NFL at collegiate level, the physical aspect of the game is one of their favorite parts. If you don't like the physical aspect of the game, you probably shouldn't be playing defense. Real talk. And so that's what's real worrisome about that Green Bay game. That game was to get us back to 500, to keep us in the thick of the playoff race. And you got guys not willing to get up and be physical? That's a problem, ladies and gentlemen. Because if they would have got up off their asses and been physical and set the tone, guess what? And they didn't shoot themselves in the foot. Guess what? We could have been 7-6 after this week. But instead, we're 6-7. Still chasing. And I'm going to tell you, I have PTSD from that game. That Green Bay game. I can't sit here and tell you confidently that all 22 starters on offense and defense are going to get up and give 110% effort in Houston. Because what's the situation? 6-7, looking to get back to 500. So what? Y'all are going to get up for when it's a dome or when it's warm weather, but when it's cold, whatever, let it go? You know, Jevon Holland, I'll stick with Jevon Holland. This guy wants 18 to 20 million a year. And look at him. Getting washed out upfield. Crazy. And Holland and Poyer are just... Holland, you can see the lack of effort. Poyer's already gone into his business to himself. All you got to do is go back to week 9. Go back to week 9 and look at the negated 21-yard touchdown run from Josh Allen. Remember the run he had against us where he ran right up the middle, got into the end zone, but then it came back on a Bills penalty? You remember that play? Go watch that replay. Poyer pulls up on Josh Allen as he's coming to the end zone. He's got him dead to rights, line him up, take him out of his cleats, and the guy pulls up. That's like, you know, we were looking at the grades yesterday. Jordan Poyer was a top 5 graded player from PFF standpoint. This is why I tell you, don't take their grades seriously. Was a top 5 graded player. When we get into the film in a little bit here, and I show you that Davis touchdown, that 17-yard Davis touchdown, you're going to look yourself in the mirror and you're going to say, how the hell was Poyer a top 5 graded player on the defense when that's the effort we get on a run? We don't even got to get into the fact that Jordan Poyer's the reason why Jalen Phillips is on the sideline right now. Jordan Poyer has been far more of a liability and had far more of a negative impact on this team than he has positive. Same with Marcus May. That's great Marcus May leaves and gets a pick in the back of the end zone. That's fantastic. I sat here and watched Marcus May. 3rd and 4. Kyler Murray squared up. What happens? You whiff on the tackle. You give up the first down. When we could have got the offense the ball back with a little bit of over a minute left in the game to get points and win the game. You whiff on the tackle, cost us the game. Josh Allen. Marcus May's got Josh Allen dead to rights in the backfield. Whiffs on the tackle. Josh Allen does that little flick pass over top that scores a touchdown. And again, it was a 3rd down where we could have made a stop. Marcus May. Open field. Ray Davis. He's got 15, 20 yards to line this guy up. Whiffs on the tackle, and we give up a 63-yard touchdown run. The safety play this year has been atrocious from an effort standpoint to a fundamental standpoint. I mean, Jordan Poyer and Marcus May couldn't take the right angle to save their lives. They're the last people I'd give a protractor to in this world. They would know what a right angle is if it smacked them in the face. And Jevon Holland is just lacking the effort. You can tell. When I watch Jevon Holland, I'm watching a player who, guess what? He's come off 2 MCL injuries where he had 2 bad knee injuries last year against the Jets. He doesn't want to affect his bag. He doesn't want to hurt his pockets. Anthony Walker, I would have kept David Long just to keep Anthony Walker on his toes. Look at what Anthony Walker's become since David Long left. Guy is an absolute disaster, getting cooked in coverage. Just cooked. It's like he took the pedal off the gas when he saw, I don't got competition anymore. Dotson's cemented behind me. I'm the reason why they let David Long walk. Well, maybe we shouldn't have let David Long walk to keep a fire lit under this guy's ass. Every edge player not named Chop Robinson that's been healthy, where are you? Ogba will make a play here and there, but all that hype we had for Quentin Bell, what's that turned into? Shaq Barrett went into business for himself and he checked out on us. You know, you can look and there's certain guys who have clearly not gone into business for themselves and still want to win. Chop, Sealer, Calais, Brooks, Ramsey, Kendall Fuller when he's out there. And then on the offensive line, yeah, you can knock people for their effort. You can't knock, I can't sit here and say Robert Jones and Lee Meikenberg are going into business for themselves. They can give maximum effort. They're just not good. And listen. Let's take that down, and I'm going to look you dead straight. I already called out Jevon Holland. I'm going to call out someone else. Odell Beckham Jr. You don't look like you want to be there. How many contested catches has OBJ made? How much separation consistently has OBJ had? You know, when he came here, we were led to believe that he bought in to the fact he would be third receiver at best. Jonnu Smith has claimed that role as our star tight end this year. But OBJ, I'm going to talk to the same with OBJ. His words haven't matched his effort. I told y'all a couple weeks ago when I saw that little clip with Omar Kelly at OBJ's stall, I said, this isn't good. OBJ basically told us he wasn't happy. He basically told us at the stall that he wasn't happy. And that he was still coming to terms with his role and his usage. So yeah, I think there's players on both the ball that are being called out right now. OBJ was brought here to convert third downs. I can count at least 4 or 5 third down drops this season so far. Sure, the catches were contested, but brother, you're known for making one-handed grabs acrobatically over your back. You can't make two-handed grabs when the ball's on the money just because you got a defender on your hip. That's an issue, brother. Those hands are supposed to be glue. All you're supposed to do is hit them with the ball, and they're supposed to stick. You can't separate. Your hands have been suspect. Good luck making a catch, contested catch. So, yeah, I would even take this as a call out to OBJ. Just my opinion. This is how I'm perceiving this. This is how I perceive this. You know? This is just how I perceive it. This is my opinion. So, just how I see it. So, it sounds like people are being called out by Tyreek Hill. That's what it sounds like. And there's players on both sides of the ball you can point to and you can question how bought in they are right now. Yeah, Ramsey, we'll watch the footage. Ramsey got cooked, especially on that route up the right sideline on that out and up. He got cooked, but Ramsey was still giving an effort. You could still see Ramsey was still good. Look at the pass breakup he had later in the game. Ramsey was still giving an effort. The problem it looks like with Ramsey right now is it looks like he's starting to slow down a little bit. But that's a discussion for a different day. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I think Ramsey should be moved to safety. I think he's still got the athleticism and still got enough speed where he can cover sideline to sideline well enough. He loves the physical aspect of the game. It'll put him in a bigger position to line guys up, lay the lumber, and it might lead to more forced fumbles. He'll still be able to make plays on footballs. Bro, I'm going to tell you right now, and shout out to EM for this comp because he's 110% right. And when we've had this conversation about him moving, He's Charles Woodson, right? Charles Woodson spent his first 14 seasons as a cornerback and then his final 4 years as a safety. And I think that's what needs to happen. And we all remember how good he was with Oakland as a safety. The guy was a beast. The guy was a monster. So that's what I think. I think Ramsey, the conversation needs to start being had of, do you move him to safety? You could have your answer to Jevon Holland already in the building. So that's who I would. That's what I would do. I would put him at. I would start making that conversion to safety, because he could play up in that box. He's shown you he can blitz, right? He can play in the slot. You can still put him on the boundary when you need to, depending on the package. So, I think you got an ideal fit right there. The Miami Dolphins run game. Yeah, I mean, there's some good corners in this draft, bro. There's some good corners in this draft. Like, obviously, you're not going to get Travis Hunter. I don't think we'll be bad enough to get Will Johnson, who I really like out of Michigan. I like Denzel Burke out of Ohio State. And Jahdae Barron from Texas. I like those guys as well. There are options at corner. Barron might be more of a slot guy, though. He might be a guy who can work inside out. But I like Denzel Burke. I like Will Johnson. But, yeah, the corner's quietly in need for this team. The Miami Dolphins run game, and I've talked about this and how I don't know how far we can go without a sustainable run game. Remember, I said we had 149 yards on the ground against the Bills. That's why that game was where it was. If you take away those 100 of those 149 yards and we run like the way we've been running the last couple of weeks, that might be a 10-point loss, even with as good as Tua played. That might still be a 10-point loss. Yeah, Benjamin Morrison's good from Notre Dame. I don't think he's gonna go in the late rounds, bro. I think he's gonna be he's a top 5 corner in this draft, bro. He's going on the first 2 days. All right. So, continuing on, let's get into this run game, because let's dive into this. The Miami Dolphins run game has steadily trended in the wrong direction. Through the past 5 games, the Dolphins have averaged roughly 59.4 yards per game. The rushing attack hit a new low against the New York Jets when the team finished with just 44 yards on 19 attempts. Quote, I think a lot of guys can clean up our assignments in the blocking schemes to be able to kind of make sure that we are moving the ball in the run game just as efficiently and effectively as we are in the pass game, Alec Ingold said. So I think it's definitely an area that we can grow in, and it does take all 11 to be able to make that happen. This regression comes roughly 2 months after the Dolphins' 3-game stretch where they averaged more than 150 yards. Granted, a lot has changed since then, most notably quarterback Tua Tagovailoa's return to the lineup as he was on injured reserve during that time. The Dolphins have also faced some changes on the offensive line with the loss of Austin Jackson to season-ending knee injury and Terron Armstead's lingering knee injury that has limited him to just one practice during the past month and forced him out of Sunday's game against the Jets. Still, Ingold doesn't believe that's a valid excuse. There's no finger pointing. There's no excuse. It's simple, but it's hard to do. But I think that's a challenge that we all have to kind of embrace and not look at any sort of outside help or any sort of outside explanation, and truly just dialing into how all 11 can be in the run game and we can improve down the stretch. Because I think that's the only way we win games we need to win, is for all 11 guys to be able to take ownership and not have to look for who's on the field, who's off situation of the game, like it really shouldn't matter at this point. Liam Eichenberg agreed. I think it kind of goes back to all of us being on the same page and based on where the point is made and all of us going to the correct guy after that point. Eichenberg said, definitely communication can be improved, but at the end of the day, kind of goes back to technique and fundamentals. Coach Mike McDaniel's explanation, however, slightly differed. Although McDaniel acknowledged the missed opportunities, most notably a 28-yard 6 scamper from Achane that got called back because of holding, a need for better blocking, he also explained how the Dolphins have taken advantage of teams that overplay the run. There's a lot of times with the consistency of the decision making and accuracy of Tua that I'm exchanging tone-setting run plays for tone-setting passing plays. Protection is firm and telling guys to be aggressive and then when you're throwing a 5-yard out to Julian Hill for 14, you're thinking a 5-yard out route to Jalen Waddle for 10. You're throwing a 5-yard out route to Tyreek Hill for, I think one time it was 13, one time it was 9. And while McDaniel's explanation certainly makes sense, it's worth wondering how the utilization of Tagovailoa's efficiency will help in short yardage situations, an area where the Dolphins have similarly struggled. The two issues are seemingly linked. Keep in mind that the Dolphins couldn't score against the Green Bay Packers despite 3 attempts from the 1-yard line. Against the Jets, the Dolphins needed 5 plays to score from the 3-yard line on the first drive. When you talk about fast, physical, elite technique and short yardage, getting the right feet in the ground, being able to do all the things we need to do to move our guy 1 yard so the running back can get through the line of scrimmage, I think it really is in the details. I think that is the focus. Ingold said, yeah, a little toughness can help. That too, a little tenacity to get after it. But I think short yardage in the run game is something that we're all going to be having our hand in. As the months get colder, the Dolphins need to find a way to reestablish the run. Doing so will allow the team to have a more balanced offense. Sure, Tagovailoa has played lights out since Week 8 return, but an average run game can open up opportunities through the air. So December football, a lot of teams need to be able to run, Ingold said. We're going to be on the road quite a bit. I think that's going to help. So it's really going to button down the hatches here. I definitely think it's a growth opportunity for us heading into this stretch. Okay, so a few things here. Number one, all right, let's be real here. Ingold is straight up calling out the protection. Straight up calling it out. He's not even making, two bones about it. He's calling out that the protection needs to be better for the Dolphins to be successful in the run game. That's exactly what he's doing. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, McDaniel, with his whole little, all that talk, brother, you could have summed it up and just said, I trust us to move the ball passing it more than I do for us on the ground. That's basically what he's telling you. I like Tua throwing a short out better than I do us rushing the football right now. And what does that tell you? He's not, he literally talked about the protection. He basically told you he likes his line and pass pro better right now as run blockers. Right? We tried to pass it off as tone setting plays. But he basically said, there's a lot of times with the consistency of the decision making and accuracy. Passing. He's saying I prefer the passing. Protection is firm and telling guys to be aggressive. He's basically telling you I like us better in pass pro right now than I do run blocking. And I don't know how far this team thinks they're going to get if you can't run the football. Even if you squeak into the playoffs, it's going to be one and done. What do you think about the edge from Ole Miss? I haven't done a ton of work on the edge class. I've only watched I want to say 5 edges maybe right now. Because I just recently realized it's the same thing where I'm at with cornerback, but I just realized, hey, I'm gonna have a lot on my plate here because we got a lot of needs. But I haven't had a chance to watch the whole edge class really. I've watched James Pierce from Tennessee. He's really, really good. I know you're talking about Princely. I never get this right. Princely Umenemelin. I haven't, I've watched Ole Miss games. I haven't locked in on him. So, but I know, doesn't he have 11 sacks or something like this year? Something like that. I haven't had a chance to really dive into the edge class. Other than a few guys. The only guys I've really dove into so far are Mikael Williams from Georgia and James Pierce from Tennessee. So haven't even had a chance to dive into Princely yet. But I will let you know from the stuff that I've watched, like from what I've seen from the Ole Miss games I've watched. I like him. But there's a bunch of guys I still need to watch. I need to watch Nick Scarton from Texas A&M, Jack Sawyer from Ohio State. I just haven't had a chance yet. But Michael Williams and James Pierce, I have liked and I think are really good. And obviously, they're considered the top two edges of this class. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to really dive into Princely yet. But when I do, I'll let you know, because low key, we might need another edge rusher. You know? So, I see someone else here from Georgia, Jalen Walker from Georgia. Yeah, now I can say, like, that I have dove into Jalen Walker a little bit, just because of Michael Williams, right? But he's a linebacker, right? That's linebacker class. So I've dove into some linebackers for sure. Like, I've watched Harold Perkins. I've watched Barrett Carter. I've watched, obviously, Georgia, Smell Mondin, Jamon Dumas Johnson, Jalen Carter, like you mentioned. I'm a big Jay Higgins guy out of Iowa. I've watched Abdul Carter from Penn State. I've watched more linebacker because I thought it was a bigger need than edge. So I've actually watched quite a bit of the linebacker class so far. I've watched quite a bit of the interior offensive line class, the tackle offensive class. I've watched some of the tight ends because remember, Luke Lachey is my guy. I've already watched some of the wide receivers. I've watched a lot of the D line, right? Like I can tell you some guys I already like on the D line. This, obviously everyone loves Mason Graham. I think Deion Walker out of Kentucky is really good. Kenneth Grant is really good. I watched Tyreek Williams out of Ohio State. I'm a big Nazir Stackhouse guy. Dante Corleone out of Cincinnati is really good. Walter Nolan out of Mississippi, TJ Sanders. I've watched a little bit. I've watched more interior guys than I have edge guys. I've watched linebacker, and I've watched safety. Like, I've watched a bunch of the safeties. So the positions I need to catch up on right now are, I'm starting to catch up on corner. I got to catch up on edge, and then running back. I've already obviously watched a lot of the quarterbacks too. So I haven't really watched a lot of kickers and punters. So kickers, punters, cornerback, edge, running back, wide receiver. I still need, and even tight end, I still need to watch a ton more on. So, but I've done a good bit of homework already on the offensive line from tackle to interior, the interior defensive line class, the linebackers, the safeties, because I figured we'd need them. So, and there's a couple tight ends I've already watched by proxy. So, running back class, I haven't even dove into, because I see people pointing out like RJ Harvey, UCF. I've only watched a few running backs. Like, I've watched Ashton Genty like almost every week. I've watched Amarian Hampton because everyone knows I watch North Carolina football. I've watched Caleb Johnson and Quinshawn Judkins. I've watched Ollie Gordon, but that's pretty much where it stopped for me. I haven't gone much farther than those five guys, really. So, yeah. And obviously, Scattaboo. I've watched Scattaboo because everyone's in love with Cam Scattaboo. But yeah, that's what I've watched. So only like 6 running backs too. So, but I feel like we don't even need a running back, So anyways, yeah, so that was my long-winded way of saying I haven't been able to dive fully in on Princely yet, but I will, don't worry. Because edge could be a low-key need for us, real talk. Speaking of defense and draft needs, Jevon Holland. David Feronas of the Sun Sentinel fielded a Q&A about are Jevon Holland's days with Miami numbered. Is Jevon Holland preparing for free agency? Tom Ace on X asked. Shout out to Tom Ace. Me and him interact all the time on X. He's hilarious. And people don't know, Tom Ace is Ace Ventura's, name when he goes to the mansion in Ace Ventura 1, when he goes to the mansion looking for Snowflake. Tom Ace. The contract year for Miami Dolphins safety Jevon Holland got off to such a promising start, with him punching the ball out to force a fumble on Travis Etienne at the goal line to turn the tides of the opener against the Jags. Since, it has been a disappointment for the young safety with so much potential, who Miami took in the second round of the 2021 draft. This was a key season for Holland, entering the fourth and final year of his rookie deal. He has 46 tackles in 11 games with 2 pass breakups, a sack, and that big forced fumble in week 1. In recent games, he has missed tackles, taken poor angles on ball carriers, and even seemed content at times to engage with a blocker instead of shed him to get to the man. So that's a basic. Even Furones is noticing the lack of effort. Holland is represented by agent David Mulugheta, who defensive tackle Christian Wilkins had his big payday with from the Las Vegas Raiders. And I could easily see Holland's free agency this season going a similar way, with another team willing to overpay for his services. Some of the top paid safety contracts in the NFL hover around 20 million per season. Franchise tag last year was 17.2 million and should only go up. I can see the Dolphins already strapped for cash, letting Holland walk into free agency, finding a cheaper option, and maybe opening up competition to include rookie Patrick McMorris or special teamer Elijah Campbell. But the franchise moves on from Holland and Poyer, who have both struggled. It probably needs 2 bona fide starters at safety. You need a free agency or the draft in what will be a critical 2025 season. And then he was also asked, do you think the Dolphins should activate Chubb for the Texans game? He said if he's proven the health, he's ready for practice, go for it. This is not the time of the season to hold back. Dolphins need to win out and can use all the help they can get every week. The difficult thing for Chubb is this is basically his training camp. Instead of a month plus training for the season, he has had 3 practices last week while getting in another 3 this week before Sunday in Houston. So, Jevon Holland, when you got beat writers calling you out on your effort, I told y'all that 18 to 20 million, that's what he's going to be looking for. This is a pretty strong safety class. I know we were just talking about some of these safeties that are coming out right now. But, it's a pretty strong safety class. I will say that. So obviously Malachi Starks, he's the apple of everyone's eye. You got Nick Manawari from South Carolina, Xavier Nwakpa, who's actually one of my favorite safeties of this class, Xavier Watts, Jalen Reed, Malachi Moore, Jalen McCullough, Keon Sapp. You just got a lot of safeties coming out. It's a pretty strong safety class. Hell, you want to go get a Sanders, brother? Go get Shiloh Sanders if you really want. You know what I mean? But it's a strong safety class, that's for sure. That is for damn sure. I think, at least. So even Latham Ransom out of Ohio State's pretty good. Rod Moore, obviously, out of Michigan. So it's Andrew Makuba out of Texas. It's a pretty strong class. So we'll see. But there are safeties to like in this class. There are safeties to like in this class for sure. For sure. So, and obviously there's going to be safeties to be found in free agency. There ain't no doubt. So, Tori, you're talking about Makuba. That's who you're talking about. He's a beast. Andrew Makuba from Texas. He's a beast. So, all right. I have watched a lot of that class, so I like what I see in that class. All right, let's keep it rolling and let's keep it going. All right. More to get into here. Let's get into the film. All right, because we do have some all 22 to go over. I always try to get 15 to 20 plays, and somehow I always end up with like around 25. So I got 24 plays this week from Week 14. Let's get into it. Let's start it off right here. Opening drive of the game for the Miami Dolphins. It is the second play of the drive after a 7-yard run by Achane did start the drive off here. All right. So what you have here, it's 2nd and 3. And this is, this play, when you look at it, right? This play embodies what we talk about in regards to elite placements, right? And leading receivers into space and giving them the opportunity to create after the catch. This is the perfect example of a play like that. So if you look at right here, we got Tua. He is in the gun. Achane to his left. 1x2 receiver set with Jonnu. He's going to motion in line on the left and then out into a stack behind Tyreek on the snap. It's 21 personnel for Miami. Jets show cover 3, and then they drop the 3 defenders deep in an umbrella look. Waddle is going to run. Watch Waddle. He's got the orange on his cleats at the top of the screen. His back foot's on the 35. He is going to run a delay in route as if it's supposed to open up Ingold right here in line to the left. It's like as if it's supposed to open up his corner route. So watch this. Tua's going to hit Waddle in stride, allow him to split the defenders and get some real yardage after the catch. Look at this. See, he delays it, and then he goes. And Tua hits him in stride. They split the defenders, and look at 20 yards. Interesting, because if you go back and you look at this from the level I was just telling you guys about, right? If you look at this from the perception of, okay, is that out route trying to get, is it designed to, that in route, sorry, is it designed to make it look like the corner route for Ingold is going to open? Because watch Ingold's corner route opens up right there, and you can see everyone crashing, but hey, it works. He splits it. He trusts Waddle more to catch the football. Who wouldn't? So big play right there, 20 yards. And Jevon Kinlaw was also flagged for unnecessary roughness on this same play here. So now this is the 5th play following the Waddle gain we just saw. It's 3rd and goal from the New York 1. The Dolphins have struggled to get any push in the run game the last 2 plays, gaining 2 of the 3 yards needed to score. 2 under center, high formation, 1x1 receiver set, 21 personnel for Miami, cover 0 for the Jets. Watch the top of your screen, top left of your screen, Tyreek. Tua is going to try the fade to the left side, just beyond the pylon with Tyreek. He's going to get mugged from behind and draw the flag. And if you watch Waddle at the bottom of the screen, he's never going to get the release on his out route. And honestly, I'm not a huge fan of this call. Watch this. Like, I'll show you why. Look at everything to the right is dead. Like, you want to go to Achane? That's dead. You want to go to Ingold? That's dead. You got 3 defenders on top of them. Look at Waddle. That's dead. And so your only option right here, the best option, because everything to, and Tua didn't even start to the right. So, because he knew, saw the coverage and he knew what was about to happen. But basically, this play is, even if he looked, everything to the right is dead. Your only option is the sub 6 foot receiver making a catch on the fade, and he gets mugged from the back by Reed. Like, thank God for the DPI. This downs reset from the New York 1, but I just don't like the options on that play. I just throw these fades into the trash until you go get, if you want to go get a Tet McMillan in the draft, or you want to get a guy who can actually make these plays, holla at me, but throw these in the trash. The whole right side of the play is dead, and the only open thing is a fade to the left side to a sub 6 foot receiver. Like, come on, sub 200 pound, sub 6 foot receiver. Like, that's just not a good play design. So after a 1 yard loss following the DPI on an Achane run, it's 2nd and goal from the New York 2. 2 is in the pistol with Achane. Jeff Wilson Jr. is the H back to the left. 2 receivers to the right. 21 personnel for Miami. Cover 0 again for New York. Watch Achane. He's going to take the ball on a dive through the C gap. Wilson Jr. is going to lead the way. Miami is going to get in for 6 right there. 5 plays from inside the 3 to get to the end zone, which would have been 3 plays if not for a DPI flag. Like, this is sad. This is just sad. Sanders would then miss the extra point, 6-0 Miami. So now, Jets have the ball after Miami's opening drive. They've gone 11 plays for 60 yards to this point. It's 3rd and 2. Rodgers in the gun. Empty backfield. 3-by-2 set. 11 personnel. Dolphins are going to show cover 2. Chop. Watch Chop. Chop is coming off the right edge. All right. He is going to beat Moses clean off the snap. He's going to arc around him. He's going to miss on the chop to the wrist, but he's so quick and powerful enough to create an issue with his rip move on Moses that it causes him to open up. And look at Chop. Chop just hit the arm. Chop just hit the arm. So they draw the flag here on Moses. It's the same infraction that Chop's been dealing with since before the Colts game that I've been pointing out. The hold, right? If you look, he's going to come with that rip move on Moses that caused him to open up. He's going to hold Chop across the neck. So the holding call is called, which is declined because look at Chop's pressure. It still forces the incompletion. Look at this. Don't tell me pressures do not matter. Another example of a Chop pressure directly impacting a incompletion, and it should have been a sack. Look at that hold. Look at this hold. Look at that hold. Look at how egregious that is. And then watch Chop's hand. He's going to, look at, he just got a piece of that. And that causes the ball to flail and fall incomplete. Just a great motor from Chop. Jets are forced to take the field goal instead of converting and being deep in Miami's end, looking for 6, so 6-3 Miami. So Chop may have prevented a touchdown. Miami now has the ball back after the Jets field goal. They've gone 7 plays for 43 yards to get to the New York 27. It's 2nd and 7 here. Tua's under center. Wright's the single back. 1-by-1 receiver set. 12 personnel for Miami. Jets in cover 1. Julian Hill, he's going to motion to the right. Watch this creativity. I like this. It's going to be a fake toss to right on the right, and Hill's going to come mid-toss and take that on the end around to the left. It only gets 6, but I like the creativity here. Now, when you look at this angle, Pierre-Paul, 52. He's going to take a poor angle, and he's late out into space on Eccles. And if he gets there and he gets that block, this may have been a house call for 6. Dolphins have to settle for a field goal instead. See, he whiffed. Because there's an incompletion on the next play, so they settle for field goal, 9-3 Miami. So now we're on the Jets' next drive. It's 4th and 4 on the 6th play after the drive when you had them at 3rd and 14 due to a Lazard false start, but the defense gave up 10 to Conklin. So Jets got nothing to lose early on. 4th and 4, they're going for it. Rodgers in the gun, Davis to his right. 1-by-3 receiver set, 12 personnel for the Jets. Cover 6-2-4 for the Dolphins. Conklin's going to motion out to the right. Watch this. Watch Ramsey. Ramsey's in the black cleats over number 5, Garrett Wilson, who's in the right. He's in the middle slot, right slot right here, number 5. Watch Ramsey. He's going to try and get a hand on Garrett Wilson off the snap to slow him down, but he takes the inside release on the skinny post, and he's going to torch Ramsey, who is going to be trailing the whole time for 35 yards. This wasn't a good day for Ramsey, who allowed 146 yards in coverage. Watch, tries to get the hand, misses, and he's gone. Ouch. Whew, that's tough for Ramsey. You got cooked a little bit, Jalen. Ouch. Tries to get the hand on him. Right there. See? Missed. And boom. Garrett Wilson made you pay. Ouch. That's tough. That is tough. So, very next play. Here we go. This is the play I was talking about. Let's watch some defenders go into business for themselves. You ready? Watch Holland. Holland, he's got the white cleats with the towel hanging down. He's at about the 9-yard line. He's right inside of Kendall Fuller. And then you got Jordan Poyer on the other side there with the orange gloves. He's at about the 7-yard line. Okay. 1st and 10, Rodgers under center with Davis as a single back, 1-by-1 receiver set, heavy right, 12 personnel set for the Jets. Cloud 1-3 look for the Dolphins. Watch Davis. He's going to cut back and hit the B cap. Watch Poyer's going to take a poor angle, have poor tackling technique and zero physicality. Holland is going to let himself get easily washed out by Allen Lazard. And even Kendall Fuller. Kendall Fuller's going to give a shove at the 2 instead of attempting a tackle. Watch this in full time. It's pathetic effort from the secondary. Look at this. There's the poor angle, misses. Look at how easily Jevon Holland gets washed out. Like, give me a break. Allen Lazard does that to you, Jevon. Look at this. Lazard easily takes you out. Look at and the angle. Poyer's out here tackling Lazard like he's the man. And then look at just a little push from Fuller. Tackle him. Just awful. Tackle him. Look at this. Awful. So pathetic, it's unbelievable. Oof, that's pathetic. That is absolutely pathetic. Holy jeez. Wow. Dolphins have the ball back after the Jets touchdown. Dolphins started this drive going 25 yards in 3 plays. Yeah, at least Fuller does. He's worried about getting a concussion. What's the excuse for Poyer and Holland taking bad angles and showing no physicality? So Dolphins have the ball back after the Jets touchdown. It's 10-9 right now, Jets, after that extra point. Dolphins started this drive going 25 yards in 3 plays. 1st and 10 from the New York 46. 2 under center. 8 chances single back. 1-by-1 receiver set. 21 personnel for Miami. Jets show cover 2, but they drop to a cover 1 robber post snap look. Waddle is going to motion to the right. 2 is going to fake the handoff, and watch this. As soon as he gets to the top of his drop and that back foot hits, boom, the ball is out. It's out to Tyreek just coming out of his break. Like, look at Tyreek ain't even out of his break, and the ball is out. Look at Tyreek just past the 40. He's at the 39, 38 right now. He's not even out of his break. He's not even into his break, sorry. And the coverage is tight. Now the throw's at his hip, but he makes the catch. It's contested a little bit. Comes down with the ball for a huge 21-yard gain to the Jets' 25-yard line. Dolphins would then have to settle for a field goal to make it 12-10, even with 2 converting a 4th and 2 because of an illegal formation penalty on Pierre-Paul that would stall this drive out. So this is the Jets' next drive. 2nd and 20 after a 10-yard penalty on Fashanu. Rodgers in the gun, empty backfield, 2-by-3 receiver set, cover 6, 2-4 for Miami. Watch Seiler, 92, right? He's going to draw the double team up the B gap, and Ogba is going to come through the A gap off the left edge on the stunt for the massive sack, or so we thought. Seiler is going to get called for hooking for a hold for basically hooking on to one of the defenders that double team him. So instead of a 3rd and 22, the 5-yard penalty here from that's what he's called, right? They called Seiler for that, the hook right there. So instead of it being 3rd and 22, that hold resets the downs and would definitely matter on the drive. Ogba sack negated. So next play after the negated Ogba sack, 1st and 10, Rodgers in the gun. Braylon Allen to his right, trips right, but Lazard is going to motion to the left. 11 personnel for New York. Miami shows cover 2, but they will drop to cover 1. And watch Kohu. See the slot here? Watch Kohu. Kohu's going to pass off Adams to the second level on his go route like he isn't aware that, look at the coverage is rolling, bro. What are you saying? Poyer doesn't have the speed to get across. And look at the problem is, even if he did, look at Poyer. He opened his hips to the middle of the field here. Look at and look at that. And then he started to backpedal and had to flip out of it. Look, When you watch it in full time, watch. Starts going to the back pedal, realizes, oh crap, I got to keep my hips open and crash to that side. Kohu passing off with no help behind him. This is multiple miscommunications that have led to big plays and coverage this season from Kader Kohu. The fact that Poyer is also the last defense isn't a good look either, considering he's not the athlete he once was by a mile. Miami gets burned. Jets would get another field goal on this drive to go back up 13-12. Dolphins got the ball back, down by 1 with a little under a minute left in the first half. And this is what they did. They've gone 16 yards in 2 plays to start this drive. Now there's about 23 seconds left in this first half. 2 in the gun, HN to his right in the backfield. 2 receivers stacked to the left and 1 to the right. It's 11 personnel for Miami. Jets will drop to cover 3 and shift the safeties post-snap. Watch this. Watch Tua's timing and anticipation again. Like, look at this. The ball is coming out. He's throwing to Waddle. You see 83? It's the route above 83. It's Waddle. Waddle's running a dig. And why is Tua throwing this? He saw that corner bail underneath to Washington, and he read where the linebacker was. He saw the cushion that deep defender had on Waddle. He knew the window was there. And look, the ball's already coming out. You don't even know it's a dig route yet. Look at, boom, there it is, right on the money. Right for Waddle to take it into space, add some extra yardage, huge 15-yard gain, puts him into field goal range. Sanders would make the 57-yard field goal. Boom, look at that. After a quick spike to give Miami the lead back at 15-13 to end the half. So now the Jets get the ball to start the second half. 2nd and 8 after a 2-yard run from Allen to start this drive. Rodgers in a split back gun look. 2 receivers split to the right. 21 personnel for New York. Miami, they're in cover 4 on this play. Watch the top of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. You see the black cleats, the man facing inside? That's Jalen Ramsey. He's on top of Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson is going to absolutely turn Jalen Ramsey inside out right here. Turn him inside out. All right. Garrett Wilson is going to run an out and up, and he's going to sell the out hard, and just watch Jalen Ramsey. Ouch. Look at that. Rodgers makes the throw, but thank God he let him out of bounds. 42-yard gain instead of a house call for 6, which it could have been if the ball was inside the hashes, not leading him outside. Again, look at Ramsey just get cooked. Ouch. Jets would then make it 20-15 on a 3-yard touchdown pass from Rodgers to Adams. Whoo! That one hurts. That one hurts. Ramsey, oof. This is a game where Ramsey, he's saying never put that film on ever again. So now Dolphins get the ball back after the Adams touchdown. Ball at the New York 15 after ball at the New York 45 after a 15-yard pass and catch from Tua to Waddle on the first play of the drive. 2 in the strong right pistol with Achane and Ingold. 1-by-1 receiver set. 21 personnel for Miami. Cloud 3-1. Look for the Jets. Julian Hill's going to motion to the right. And watch this. It's a toss. There's the motion. It's a toss to Achane. Look at, he gets that edge and scampers for 26. Problem is, Ingold is flagged for a holding, which offsets. Look at that horse collar at the end on Achane. This could have been a massive play for Miami. The run took them to the 29 of New York, and the horse collar would have had them at the 14 of New York. Instead, they have to replay the down, which gained 6 yards. Tough. Same drive, 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard Achane run, following the offsetting penalties. 2 in the pistol with Achane, 2 receivers to the left. Tyreek then motions out of that to the right for a 1-by-1 13 personnel look for Miami. Jets will drop to cover 3 at the snap here. Julian Hill is going to be covered. So Tua doesn't want Achane headed in the flats on the left. And watch Smythe. Smythe, he's he's in line to the left off of Paul's hip. He's going to get a little bit of separation on the whip right there. Tua finds him. Look at, the ball's in his hands. The ball is in Smythe's hands right there. And he can't come down with the catch, and that would have been a first down. Coverage is good, but the throw is better. It hits Smythe in the hands. The problem is that his hands aren't very good. Drops the ball and the first down. Why does this matter? Look. Come on. The throw's there, baby. Then this drive stalls out with a throw to OBJ at the line of scrimmage that goes nowhere. That's a first down, man. You got to make that catch. You got to make that catch. I don't know what else to say to you. You have got to make that catch. Period. So now, the Jets drive after that Miami punt. They've gone 63 yards in 13 plays. It's 3rd and 4. Rodgers in the gun. Davis to his right. 1-by-3 receiver set. Trips right. Lazard motions to the left. 11 personnel for New York. Cover 2 for Miami here. Watch Chop. He's going to win. Chop off that right edge. He's going to win inside. Get mugged. No call. Rodgers is going to shift out of the pocket to his right. Watch. Mug. Look at this. Look at this. Look at him get mugged. Look at this. He's getting held now. Rodgers moves out to his right. Brooks is going to crash down. Come downhill towards him. The coverage is good downfield. Look at Chop. Look at the effort from Chop to get back there to jump and take away the passing lane. Look at the effort from Chop after he gets mugged. Still sticks with it, comes back, and look at this. Brooks forces him out. Chop gets in front of him, and then Brooks cleans it up. Great effort by Chop and Brooks here. Jets are forced to settle for a field goal to go up 23-15. But look at Chop just get mugged here. Just gets mugged. Look at, that's a hold, brother. That's a hold, brother. Okay. And then look at the effort by Chop. Come on. Love this kid, man. Love this kid. Jets have the ball back now after another Dolphins punt. It's still 23-15. 3rd and 2 after a 7-yard run by Davis to start the drive off and a throw and catch to Davis that lost a yard on 2nd down. Rodgers in the gun. Davis to his right. 2-by-2 receiver set. 11 personnel for New York. Miami in cover 1. Watch Sealer here. He's the 3 tech. He's going to attack the left A gap. And he's going to come across the face towards the inside shoulder of John Simpson with a quick chop that misses the target. But he drives through with pure power on that rip move, and boom, he gets him. And you see, watch this. We'll watch it from here. Watch Benito. Benito is also going to come on the stunt to the B gap, which is going to disengage Simpson and allow Sealer to come through for the huge sack. But watch Chop on the right tackle here. Chop is going to win with a quick push-pull move, and it's going to get him free around the edge, and he makes an impact on the play too. Look at Chop. Ready, push, pull, and he's through. And look at, the stunt is coming, and it disengaged Simpson, allows Sealer through. Look at, they got you either way, dead to rights. Let's go. Jets forced to punt. So Dolphins ball after the Jets punt. It's 1st and 10 after Miami had just gone 29 yards in 5 plays. 2 is in the pistol, 1-by-1 receiver set with HN as the H back to the right. 21 personnel from Miami. Cover 3 pre-snap. Turns to a cloud 1-3 post-snap. Look for the Jets. Washington. Watch Washington at the bottom. He's going to get outside release on his fade 9 route up the left sideline. He's going to get mugged right there. Now he's getting mugged right there. Look at that. Mugged at the top of his stem. Just mugged by Reed. I think it's, what is it? Yeah, I think it's Reed, right? Yeah, 4. Yeah, so Reed just mugs him at the top there. Incomplete, but it's an easy DPI call for 23 yards. So, look at Washington. Look at the impact he had this game. Huge DPI, moves the ball, and then he has that kick return later. Massive. So, same drive. 3 plays later, as the Dolphins are struggling to finish the drive off. HN had a run for a loss of 3 on 1st down. Waddle had a 10-yard reception on 2nd down. And then HN lost 3 again on 3rd down with a run. 4th and goal from the New York 4. 2 in the gun, HN to his right, 2x2 double set, 11 personnel from Miami. Jets in cover 0. Watch Tyreek. He's going to motion into the left slot, and it's going to help him win with a quick release off the line of scrimmage for his quick out. Boom. Comes open. Tua finds it. Hits it for 6. 23-21, baby. That release off the motion really gave Tyreek that cushion and allowed Tua to find him for the easy 6. So now 2-point conversion attempt to try and tie the game after the Tyreek touchdown. 2 in the gun, empty backfield, tight 2x3 set, 11 personnel for the Dolphins. Cover 0 again for the Jets. Achan's going to motion out to the left here. Waddle's now going to win with a quick out from this left slot that Tua hits to convert the 2 points with read and coverage. That's a tie ball game, baby. 23-23. Great job by Waddle to make the contested catch, keep his feet in the end zone when he did, and come down with full possession. Great job. So now after the Dolphins made it 23-23, each team then punted on their next drive. So this is the Jets' second drive following Miami tying it. Still 23-23. 2nd and 15. The Jets have gone 60 yards on 7 plays at this point on their drive, with the last play being a 5-yard loss on a run by Davis. Rodgers is in the gun. Davis, who's left 2x1 receiver set, 11 personnel for New York. Miami's going to show cover 4. Ruckert's going to motion out left, and watch Campbell. Campbell coming off that left edge. He is going to win with a nasty club and swim move over for Shanu, and then barely he's going to miss the sack on Rodgers right there, but this forced him to the right, allowing Sealer to clean him up, because if you watch Sealer, we'll watch him here from the thing. Watch Sealer here on the right. He will disengage from the double, arc wide, and get a hold of Rodgers for the sack. And I'll just show you better here. But look at the middle of the field. Thank God for the pressure. Look at Garrett Wilson wide open in the middle of the field. Look at him. He's got his hands up. Look at him. Wide open. He had a post up midfield. Cooked Anthony Walker off his release. Like, thank God for the pressure. Look at him wide open. Jets would be at 3rd and 1 after the sack, 3rd and 21 after the sack. They would get 14 yards on the next play, but then be forced to take the field goal to make it 26-23 with 52 seconds left. So now this is the pending field goal after they just made it 26-23. Let's watch Malik at work. Boom. Here comes Malik. Good job. Look at, ooh. And there's a key play there. Look at it. Runs over the kicker. Let's go. But watch this key play here on this return. See the other guy back there with Malik Washington? That's Jalen Wright. Watch Jalen Wright. He's going to avoid a block in the back right here. He says lays off him, block in the back. Look at, and then boom, run him over. So great job by Jalen Wright to avoid a block in the back. And great run and great power by Malik Washington to put us in a position to make some plays and tie the game up. So this is right here. The Dolphins have the ball. They've gone 20 yards in 4 plays in about 37 seconds. Tua is hurrying the team back to the line of scrimmage for a quick play before the end of the half after a 6-yard gain by Wall on a pass that took them to the 34 of New York. Tua was in the gun, HN to his left, 2x2 receivers set, 11 personnel for Miami. Cover 2 for the Jets. That will drop to cloud 3-1 look here. Tua is going to try to target Tyreek on the crosser, and he's open. But look at Tyreek's going to take a quick jab step there, and then that's going to widen out the route and throw the timing off. And honestly, thank God the timing and everything was thrown off on this play, because if that safety over top makes a play and just tackles Tyreek, you may have run out of time. Instead, Sanders attempts and hits a 52-yard field goal, sending the game to overtime, 26-26. So overtime now. Dolphins have the ball to start. 2nd and 10 after an incompletion from Tua starts the drive. 2 in the pistol with HN. 1x2 receivers set with a stack to the right. 12 personnel for Miami. Cover 6-2-4 for New York initially, but they'll drop to a cloud 1-3 look post snap. It's going to be a screen to the right to Jonnu, and look at the blocking. Great job by Lamb and Tyreek, as Liam can't keep up with Jonnu in open space, and Brewer took a bad angle to start the playoff. But Jonnu turns this into a much-needed 20-yard gain down to midfield. Big play. Again, watch the blocking here. Great job by Lamb and Tyreek. There's Lamb. Tyreek passing him off. Love it. Big play. Same drive, 6 play after the Jonnu screen worked and was followed for 5 plays that went for another 40 yards, including an identical screen from Jonnu that gained another 14 right after the 20-yard gain. 2nd and 7 from the New York 10. 2 in the gun, 8 chain to his left. 1-by-3 receiver set with trips bunched to the right. 11 personnel for Miami. Cover 1 for the Jets, and this is just great protection here. This allows Tua to stand firm in the pocket, survey the routes and coverage until he sees Jonnu come across the front of the end zone on a shallow cross route. And what a throw by Tua. And if you watch this, Tyreek even drew the double team, the level behind, because that's where everyone thought he was going to go. Tua just makes a perfect throw here. Jonnu makes a contested catch. Game over. 32-26 on the walk-off touchdown. Wow. What a job by the offensive line, Tua, Jonnu, and the offense on this play. Absolutely love it. Love it. Huge play from the defense in the second half, and then huge play from Tua, Jonnu, Tyreek, and Sanders on the final drive of the second half, and then the first drive of overtime to win it. Absolutely fantastic stuff from the Miami Dolphins to close it out. Listen, we're going to find out this week. Did they barely beat a bad team or escape with a tough win against a division rival? Find out this week against Houston, won't we? Won't we? We will find out. We're going to get some answers, that's for sure. So, man, great stuff though, huh? Absolutely love it. Love it. So, all right. Let's keep it rolling here. I do have one other thing I want to get into. Just one more thing that I wanted to take a look at, and it's just to kind of keep you guys I guess updated on what's going on right now with the Miami Dolphins and just the ownership deal. All right. Apparently today, owners are gathering today at a resort in Irving, Texas for a one-day meeting. They're expected to consider there you go. They're meeting Wednesday. They're expected to consider limited partner deals for part ownership of the Bills, Dolphins, Eagles, and Raiders. The Bills and Dolphins part ownership deals involve private equity. NFL owners approved a plan this year to allow teams to sell minority ownership stakes to private equity. NFL owners are also expected to vote Wednesday on renewing the league's partnership with Nike. General manager and other team executives are participating in the NFL's annual labor seminar today in Irving, Texas. The NFL told teams last week that they would not be given next season's salary cap figure at this meeting. The NFL is conducting an accelerator program at this meeting for minority GM candidates. So there you go. Miami Dolphins looking to sell off a minority stake to a private equity owners. So that is looking to get approved. So I just wanted to keep you guys updated on everything because, hey, a lot happens in this day and age of technology. That's for sure. So, yeah. You know what time it is. You all know exactly what time it is, baby. All right. So, guys, over 400 of you, please do me the favor, smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. As I had mentioned earlier on the show, this episode is sponsored by BetUS. The Week 15 NFL schedule is live on BetUS. Dolphins open up as 3-point underdogs to the Houston Texans. Go use BetUS for all your sportsbook needs. Promo code YouTube150. That's YouTube150 will get you your first 3 deposits matched by 150% up to $2,000. 24/7 customer service. some of the quickest payouts in the industry. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring the show and the channel. Tomorrow night, I will be back with Richmond and with Ball Game. Neil will not be available this Thursday. He's in Bahamas. He'll be back next week. So Thursday, I'll either be riding solo dolo or whatever. And then on Friday, we will do our preview show. On Sunday, we will live react and have the post-game show to see if the Miami Dolphins can get back to 500, keep their playoff hopes alive, and start to get some help in front of them because they're going to need it. So do me the favor, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. I appreciate each and every one of you. And we'll see you on the next one. As always, fins up all day, every day. Take it easy, everyone.